May I please come in?
Yes.
Good morning,
Sit
ma'am.
down.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Is it morning or afternoon?
Ma'am, it's morning.
Okay, so we are talking to Anjali, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Anjali, you are from Bhopal?
Ma'am, I'm from Indore.
Indore. So why is Indore known as the bigger city in Madhya Pradesh? Have you heard about it?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there are many reasons. One is the population of Indore, which is around now 36 lakh as per the recent surveys. And ma'am, secondly, it's economically, it's the financial capital of the Madhya Pradesh. The Madhya Pradesh Stock Exchange is in Indore. And ma'am, thirdly, it's becoming now the software and the IT hub also of Madhya Pradesh, where most of the investments, companies, so it's growing exponentially.
Why is it called Mini Bombay? They call it Mini Bombay, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, from what I think, there are two reasons. One is geographical reason of the proximity of Indore, which is in the southwestern Madhya Pradesh, to Bombay. And secondly, ma'am, since Bombay has the stock exchange of the country, Indore has Madhya Pradesh Stock Exchange. So,
right. So, have you heard of nanotechnology?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it about?
Ma'am, nanotechnology is that technology in which we deal with things at the nanoscale, which is of 10 to the power minus 9 scale. And ma'am, this is a revolutionary technology. It has various applications in health, in fact, in technological aspect also. So there's huge research potential in this emerging field.
Right. So, you heard of robotic surgery, right? The latest robotic surgery. They use robots for surgery, medical. So, what's so good about robotic surgery?
Ma'am, with respect to robotic surgery, I think more precision can be achieved as compared to a human hand.
Are they using it in India? The robots? Are they using in India?
Ma'am, I've heard of few robots being used, but I'm not very sure on the scale of it being used.
No, they use it for cardiac and other surgeries. They are using.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So tell me, I read about robots in home use, household. They are using robots in some places.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do they do? Have you heard?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in the normal usage, mostly the domestic works, like probably the cleaning and the other human work is being replaced. And ma'am, at a societal level also, we are seeing their usage in terms of cleaning the sewage. There's a Bandicoot robot prepared by IIT Madras, which has been in place, replacing the manual scavenging.
Okay. So, I'm told that robots are used in home care, like a child is alone,
yes,
suppose, and they leave the robot and the child and they lock the house. So the robot manages the child. Is it good or bad?
Ma'am, in my opinion, when there's a child, the first thing that it needs is the care and the emotional touch with the parents and with the loved ones. And with robots, this is a limitation. They might be able to take the care as they are programmed for, but they are only programmed for the things they have been fed into. And taking the care of a child involves nuances that one might not even think of. So in those situations, a robot might not perform to the best of its ability.
Okay, let's shift to Afghanistan. Of late, Afghanistan is in the news.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is your view on the Indian foreign policy, Afghanistan and neighboring countries?
Ma'am, with respect to India's stance in Afghanistan, we have not recognized the Taliban government yet, though we are providing the humanitarian assistance and support to Afghanistan. Recently, there was a 50,000 tons of wheat that India has supplied via Pakistan to them. And ma'am, India is continuing the talks with Taliban because primarily we don't want to lose out on the entire situation as Russia, China, Pakistan, and other countries are involved. And secondly, we are also concerned of Taliban not using the ground for terrorists against India. So,
Tell me, are we building something in Afghanistan? Are we building a certain infrastructure?
ma'am, we have had built the Salma Dam, the Shahtoot Dam, and even their parliament of
Parliament.
Afghanistan. Yes, ma'am.
Right, sir.
Anjali, you are from Indore.
Yes, sir.
Indore has become a symbol of cleanliness.
Right, sir.
I think 5 years continuously it has been getting cleanest award. What do you think? Is it because of proactive administration, civic administration, municipal bodies initiative, or people's participation?
Sir, Indore's cleanliness journey is not just the contribution of any one pillar. I would say it is the citizenry which has been very, very responsible, and they have taken up it as a challenge to not lose that number one position. And at the same time, the proactive municipal administration has also created awareness. And so they have worked round the clock 24/7, ensuring that the city remains clean. There have been 4 phases, sir. When I tried to know, there was a clear path that the administration charted out.
Okay. Good.
And
So, in any way, you have also contributed to this as a citizen of Indore? In what way?
sir, the most important part in of the cleanliness starts at the home, which is the source segregation of waste. If that is done, the rest of the process becomes very smooth. So in our home, sir, we have kept 4 different kinds of bins where we segregate the waste and
Okay,
we
good.
make sure that it is done.
Now, this outstanding success of Indore has been replicated in other parts of Madhya Pradesh also? Other cities like Ujjain or Bhopal?
Sir, Bhopal has been catching up with Indore, and
good.
it has been featuring also in the Swachh Sarvekshan ranks. Sir, other cities are trying to copy the best practices, but there is a long way still.
Good. Now, Anjali, MP also has the largest number of tribal population.
Yes, sir.
It is number 1 in the country.
Yes, sir.
So, tell me something about the tribal culture, socio-economic conditions, and what government of MP, with the help of government of India scheme, is doing for their welfare.
Sir, Madhya Pradesh has the largest number of tribal population in the country, and we have 3 primitively vulnerable tribal groups as well. The major groups being the Bhils, the Sahariyas, Gonds residing, and it's mostly the eastern part of Madhya Pradesh where we find the tribal people. So regarding the tribal culture, I would say it is one of the unique types. They have the Ghotul system, which is a special kind of system which they follow for marriage. Sir, Gond tribes are particularly famous for their cleanliness aspect. And sir, their artistic skills is something which is very unique to the tribals. The paintings which they make,
Okay.
and the kind of artwork that they are good at. And the government of Madhya Pradesh, along with the government of India, so they have been providing support in terms of education, which is the Eklavya model residential schools are being set up. So with respect to health, there are various NGOs and civil societies who are trying to, even in the COVID vaccination, they made the tribals aware about the same. And sir, TriFed is playing an important role in marketing the tribal produce.
So, what mechanism, institutional mechanism, government of India has developed to reach financial assistance to tribal? Is there any plan or something? Have you heard of anything?
Yes, sir. So we have had the tribal sub plans.
Sub-plan.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, my next question, Anjali, have you heard of this dark web? What is the dark web?
Sir, dark web is that part of internet which is normally not accessible through the simple browsers. So if I say there are 3 layers, so first layer is the layer which a normal user can access and see the information. But under the dark web, we cannot process it through the normal browsers like Google Chrome. There are special browsers like Tor browser.
Is it legal to access dark web?
Sir, I'm not sure about
Okay.
that part, sir.
No problem. My last question, Anjali, India is the fifth largest economy in the world, fifth largest
Yes.
as of today.
Right.
So you tell me why India is still a developing country. Despite being the fifth largest economy, we are still
Yes,
a
sir.
developing country. What is the reason?
Sir, we are fifth largest economy in terms of the GDP. And sir, one major limitation of GDP calculation is that it doesn't consider the social aspect, the environmental aspect. It is only limited to the financial and the economic development of a country. If we consider a holistic development, sir, I think India has a lot of potential to bridge in terms of education, literacy. There are health indicators, especially the infant mortality rate, maternal mortality. Sir, there we have to cover a lot, and also in terms of environment. So
So has
that
it
is
anything to do with per capita income also, GDP, per capita
yes,
GDP?
sir. It has to do with that as well.
Thank you, Anjali.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
So, Anjali, UK Prime Minister is in India.
Right, sir.
So, in what manner, ever since he landed here and the kind of engagements he has, what benefit will India get from his visit?
Sir, the UK Prime Minister has landed, and there are talks about investments in various sectors, ranging from health, industries, and even software and the IT sector. Sir, we are going to negotiate on FTA and trade deals worth $1 billion. And the UK Prime Minister has also applauded India for being the second largest investor in United Kingdom. So he has heralded this as a new phase of India-UK partnership. The post-Brexit, I think UK also is looking for partners, and India can be one of them. And so we have convergence areas like Indo-Pacific, where even UK stands for a free and open Indo-Pacific. And so in defense also, they have told to provide us with the machinery along with technology of transfer.
Okay. Khargone is in Madhya Pradesh,
Yes, sir.
and you know what happened. If you had been DM of Khargone, would you have used the bulldozer the second day after the communal tension?
Sir, the communal violence that happened was unfortunate, and had I been the DM, sir, I would have first served a notice if there are any illegal encroachments. And so secondly, as the law says, there have to be a chance given to the people to come and to prove the documents if they have. I would have looked into the relevant documents if they have had that. And sir, if there was any illegal encroachment, then probably, sir, I would have went according with the law, whatever the law would have.
Suppose the notices and natural justice, everything had already been completed before the demolition drive took place the next day. In that case, what would have been your decision?
I think the timing of the two issues is very important, and even if they were unlinked, they would be seen to be linked. And in my case, sir, I could have delayed it because it would have further flared up the communal tensions.
Good. Anjali, you have heard of plug and play model? Plug and play.
Yes, sir, I have heard. In terms of infrastructure, we have been talking about an investment, sir.
Good. So, can you think of any major plug and play model infrastructure project in Madhya Pradesh coming up?
I'm
There
sorry,
is
sir.
one
Yes,
Vikram Udyog Puri in Ujjain.
I'm sorry, sir.
You are not
I'll
aware
have
of
to
that?
look into
Doesn't
it.
matter. My last question. India has been using food grain diplomacy these days. Can you elaborate? And what are the advantages and what has happened in the food grain diplomacy over the last 2 weeks?
Sir, it is in the context of the Russia-Ukraine war, wherein Russia and Ukraine combinedly produced around 25 to 30% of the wheat. They are the wheat baskets of the world. And with the war, there has been a wheat shortage across the world. And sir, India is one of the countries which has excess of wheat. So in the Northwest Africa, particularly in Egypt, we have had talks regarding supply and the shipment of wheat. And so this is the food grain diplomacy. It's a positive thing for India because in the crisis, one, we are providing the aid to the nations which need it. And secondly, sir, I think it would also build a global image of India as a responsible nation.
Good. That's all.
Anjali,
Yes.
you had done your computer science in 2017.
Right.
Which particular area of computer science you liked most?
Sir, the new and the emerging technology of AI, this is artificial intelligence and
Mhm.
blockchain.
Oh, is it so? At that time in computer science, did they introduce blockchain in 2017?
So we were not taught as a formal part of our syllabus.
Mhm.
But while we were into the college, sir, we were very curious, and through the various seniors, we got to know about the technology.
In college, you say blockchain was already known that time
So
when
not
you were
at
in
a
college?
so not at a very large scale,
Mhm.
but so we did read about
Also,
certain
okay, I will
research
tell you
papers.
something which you must have known at that point of time,
Yes, sir.
not blockchain. Unix.
Right, sir.
Unix, what is Unix?
Sir, Unix is an operating system,
Mm-hmm.
just like
Why it's
Windows.
not popular? Or do you think it is popular and only I don't know?
No, sir.
Is it popular?
Sir, it is not as popular and commercialized as we use like Windows and
Mhm.
Microsoft.
Why it's not popular?
Sir,
Who is
I'm
using
unable
it?
to- Sir, mostly the security purposes, I think, and for
No.
programming, sir, it's
Mainframe
coding.
computers are using it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Whereas Windows is popular for everyone else than the mainframe. Okay. You talked about blockchain.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you have to explain in 3-4 sentences only. Just tell me, what is blockchain? There are two terms. One is block, one is chain.
Okay.
And putting them together is blockchain, is it not?
Yes.
Now explain.
Sir, to describe it simply, it's like the different blocks of information, like a linked list,
Mhm.
where one block has certain information recorded in it. Then there's a second block. If I want to add it, then the first block will have the address and all the information of the block to be added after it.
Mhm.
So if I am trying to make any changes, the entire system and the network must approve those changes, and only then I'll be able to add a new
Suppose I
block.
talk in terms of Bitcoin, then what will the block hold?
Sir, one, it would be the value of the Bitcoin,
Mhm.
and the node of the computer that
Mhm.
that Bitcoin belongs to.
Okay, tell me, Sri Lanka is in turmoil, let me say, at least what I understand, there is a turmoil there.
Yes.
Do I see some opportunity there for India? Which is the opportunity we should immediately grab?
Sir, I think one opportunity for India in the crisis would be to become more close to Sri Lanka, because we saw that China making inroads and getting
Mhm.
closer.
How do you do that?
Sir, first, in the short term, by providing them the line of credit which we already have. We have provided them with diesel and essential food supplies, rice as well. And sir, in the long term, developing the infrastructure, the Trincomalee project which we had, and sir, also the East Container Terminal.
Why we
that
had not gone ahead with Trincomalee project?
Sir, there were delays as far as I can recall.
Okay,
in our
that will do.
feasibility.
Thank you.